is Manny, and I'm an Oxford artist, and I'm here to talk to you about an earth science art project. I've been paired with a fantastic scientist, and we're going to learn about volcanoes! Volcanoes have some cracking names, including Krakatoa in Indonesia, Mount Fuji in Japan, immortalised in print by the amazing artist Hokusai, Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, and you've also got apologies for my pronunciation, Fuego and Fogo in Guatemala and Cape Verde Islands, which in their own languages mean fire. And then finally, the most epically named and most difficultly named, which I'm going to get wrong, the Epifula... that big long name in Iceland, which erupted with this great ash cloud in 2010, if some of you remember, or some of you don't. I remember. The word volcano comes from Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. Volcanoes come in a variety of different styles, shapes and sizes, but typically they are formed like giant mountains, conically shaped, with a crater or vent through which magma, known as lava, once it erupts on the surface, erupts through, as well as volcanic ash, the eruption cloud, volcanic boulders or bombs pouring down. They're big, dangerous things, and their equivalent, or supervolcanoes, are the equivalent of hundreds of nuclear weapons going off at the same time. Some of the biggest volcanoes are underwater, and they're massive, but the biggest one in the world is the Mauna Loa, which is where the art side of this project you will be making comes from. And we will be making, yes, volcano masks. Ta-da! Volcano masks styled on the goddess of fire, Pela, not to be confused with Pelé, the god of football, the Brazilian god of football. Pela is a goddess of Hawaiian mythology. She is the goddess of fire, lightning. She is the goddess of wind. She is the goddess of volcanoes and dance. Yes, it is told that Pela throws molten fountains into the air and governs flows of lava with her power over the volcanoes. She created the Hawaiian Islands. Apparently, she lives in one of the most active volcanoes in the world, the Kilauea volcano. There are long stories about where the goddess came from. Do look into these if you're interested in learning more. I'll put some links below. And yeah, these stories, though they might be myths, have given scientists accurate descriptions and timelines when volcanoes have actually erupted in the past, helping geological studies go forward. For this project, the tools and materials you will need are a pencil for scoring. You will need some pens, some good quality ones, nice thick ones. You will need paper to draw up your diagrams, your pens, paper and pencils. You will need a good quality pair of scissors for cutting, shaping, scoring, all the bits and bobs you possibly could need to do with that. Some masking tape or any sort of tape, sticky tape, whatever tape you've got on, just get hold of it. You need a good ruler, a nice thick solid one, but this is a particularly long metal rule, but it doesn't mean you have to use this. Whatever ruler you have available, even if you've got a length of wood, that will do, a ruler. You will need PVA glue, always helpful for any art project. You will need lots of cardboard, as much as you can get. So, good quality stuff, corrugated preferably, keep your own boxes, go through, speak to your parents, work that out. You will need paint to do your project at the end. You need to have some glorious colour. But if you don't, no worries. But I've got some great poster paint here, water-based, some orange, purple, some pink. I've got loads of colours, but some of you might not, so just find what you can, go with that. Right, you will need brushes and a pot. And last but not least, the most important, you will need imagination. Your imagination is a great important thing for creating art projects, and it will help you tenfold in this project. So if you've got a good idea, you can run with it, you can go with it, and you can create some marvellous things. All you need is a good thought and idea. So there we have it. Cardboard is your main material, and therefore after ruler, pen, pencil, scissors, masking tape, paint, brushes, PVA, chocolate bar, and all the rest. Right, cool. We ready? Let's go. So, like I said in the tool section before, you'll need lots of cardboard. It's great having all these small bits in exciting shapes. Big boxes are fantastic for any sort of art project. And look, you can ask your family and see what they can get hold of. Stuff you've ordered online generally has very good corrugated card, as well as big boxes of this particular brand I'm a fan of. Anyway, but for the base, it is very important you have one large sheet, much like this. Now, admittedly, it could be quite difficult to get hold of a sheet like this in certain households or different places around them. You might just have things that are only sized maximum beer crate size. So it occurred to me that you could ask your parents could help you out here. You could ask someone who's going to the local supermarket to ask if they've got an old box. I mean, this box here was used for oranges, so this is what I'm going to use for my base. So what you need to do is when you get your box is to cut it off and get the sheet here. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Right, fantastic. Now we have our one large sheet. There is a guide that accompanies this video. The links are below. And yeah, this is very helpful at this point because you can get a template. At this point, I would strongly recommend sketching out your design on a piece of paper. But for the purposes of this, we have a nice chalkboard. So the design for our base, that will be portrait, is for our Pele mask, we have a simple shape, which is our volcano at the top. That comes in like so, and it goes like that, and it goes down, and down, it comes in like this, and we've got ears like so, and that we'll cut that out, and we'll cut this out, and then here we've got our eye line. It never hurts, obviously we're going to use a ruler when we mark this up, but a loose sketch is a loose sketch and it's very helpful. And then from there we can have our eyes. In fact, I'm going to make our eye line just slightly lower, and it never hurts to do 3 lines for the eyes, because then once you find your centre line, like that, we can do a cut like that, and like this, and like this. Okay, cool. Right, and that effectively is our start point. We will be making this. Right, cool. Like I said, it's always good to start off with a sketch in any sort of project because it gives you a great idea of what you're going to do next and how to do it, and if you make a mistake when you're making it, it's better to work out the mistakes beforehand. Right, subsequently, so first thing to do with our piece of board is to find our centre line. Now, it's important to say here that I've designed this to the size of this sheet of board here, but if you've got a slightly smaller sheet, fantastic. If you've got a slightly larger sheet, even better. The idea is it's going to cover my face like so, once it's finished and shaped all out. And if we can get the ears all in one piece, great, because it's all good to have one structure. But if not, and it suits this, like I think this one, we won't do the ears on this, we'll add them on extra. Anyway, but like I said, if we can get it in one straight piece, that'd be fantastic. So, we'll find the centre line. Okay, in this case, we've got a piece that's about 38 centimetres, so half of 38 is 38. Divide by 2, 15, plus 4, 19. So, mark there, good solid ruler, and then mark again, 19, and then 19. And you'll notice the joy about using corrugated board is there are lines already set in here, so it makes your life a lot easier. As you can hear here, we've got a friend behind us, Glorious Cockerel. It's called Yuri. He doesn't like me. Right, so now we've got our centre line here, like so. Through. We're going to find the next central line across here. So we've got a piece that is approximately, oh brilliant, 60 centimetres, so half of 60 is 30. So we'll measure 30 again. And then one last time to be sure. And then we can line up all 3 dots, like so. And then put them together. Now the joy about this is it really puts you in a good habit as you go along for the project. So we're going to start off by making our top point there. So let's draw that. So I'm going to draw a mark on the side. So I'm going to mark off, for this purpose I'll do 12 centimetres. No, I tell a lie. 12. And at this point it's all about making triangles. Now the base is very important. So we draw a line like that, and then look, we can start building up very effectively our shape. See with this design, there's 3 key lines. There's the centre line, and there's the 2 additional lines. And for the purposes of this, we'll just use that length there. So we're going to cut in here slightly. So we'll cut in 6 centimetres for this one. 6 centimetres. Okay, cool. And then if we do the same here and mark 6 on the side and then 6 on the side. And then from there, we're going to draw that line like that. As you can see, I've made a bit of a mistake there because it comes right out, but no bother. I'm just going to use the length of my ruler, cut in a bit, and then just draw that line right down And again on the other side. And the joy about this is what you do on one side, you can repeat on the other. And now we're going to focus on that lovely jaw point there. And we know we want it something like that. So I'm going to go to here, which is about 23 centimetres. 23, which gives my line here. And like I said, the measurements aren't exact. You don't have to follow my measurements. But it's just a good way of rocking around your own design and template. Just making it work for you as best as possible. Now ready, we've got something that looks pretty funky if I do say so myself. I mean, I'm going to cut in a little bit there because I think it's a bit wide. And I'm going to fit the ears in for the purpose of this. So, cut in, brilliant, that's looking good. 1, 2, and then we'll do some ears. I'm just going to curve these here, and as you can see, I've got a nice little gap to the side there, so let's do that like, bit of a mistake. And that's the joy of this, draw it out first, and you can work out your mistakes as you go along. Right, cool. So, as you can see, we've got some sketch lines on there. Make sure, if you made mistakes like I have, you just scribble out the bits you don't want to cut. So, let's get rid of those lines, and we know we're getting rid of that, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of that. And then, let's cut this out.